intlx Solutions, founded by engineers valued for our expertise. Well, hello, my YouTube friends, tech enthusiast junkies, and learning friends alike. Hey, today we're going to be talking about how to get off of SBCE 8.1 and upgrade you to a 10.1. Why? Because Avaya is end of manufacture supporting our 8.1, so we want to get our systems off of there. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how to do that. While I'm performing this snapshot, let's talk about why this procedure is so great. What we'll be doing is migrating our 8.1 SBC configuration and moving it over to our 10.1 SBC that we're going to stand up net new. Now, the great thing about this procedure is if it doesn't go well, all we have to do is power off the 10.1 and then power back up our 8.1, and we've rolled back within a matter of minutes. To get started, I'll log into my 8.1 SBCE, and once we're in, we're going to switch to the root account. Next, I put together this handy egrep command. Feel free to stop the video and write it down if you'd like to use it in your system. And what this command will do is it'll pull out all of the details that we'll need when deploying our new Avaya SBC 10.1.2. It includes stuff like the name of the SBC, its management IP address, NTP servers, and a bunch of other stuff that we'll need. Next, we'll go to our favorite website and we'll need to download a Uber utility file and a copy of SBC 10.1.2 OVA. So the first thing we'll want to do is download that Uber utility file, and this is actually used to pull the migration data off of our 8.1 SBC. Now we have that in hand, we'll need to download the SBC 10.1.2 OVA, which is used to install the SBC onto VMware. With those files in hand, we're now ready to begin the migration process, and we do so by uploading a copy of the Uber utility file to our 8.1 SBC. With that uploaded, let's head back over to the command line of our 8.1 SBC, and we'll need to make the following directory. Then we'll head over to our home directory and copy our Uber utility file to the newly created directory. We then navigate to this newly created directory and uncompress our Uber utility file. Included in the utility is a pre-upgrade check script, which will actually validate whether your system is even eligible to be upgraded. However, I do strongly recommend looking at the release notes to ensure that your system is at the correct release for the migration procedure. No point in moving forward with all of this if it's not at the right release to be migrated in the first place. Alright, now that I've checked and double checked that my system actually can be migrated, we need to create one more directory, which is the location that the utility file will save our migration data file to. And with that directory available, we are ready to create our migration backup file using the following command. Now, this process takes about 5 minutes or so, and once completed, a message will indicate that the backup has created successfully. If we navigate to the Create Backup directory, we can see that the Uber utility script creates a backup of our 8.1 SBC. We need to remove this backup from the system, then we can shut down our SBC. Now it's time for the best part, deploying the Avaya Aura 10.1.2 SBC. I'm not going to cover every dropdown available in an OVA because honestly 90% of deploying OVAs is pretty much the same, whether you're deploying Cisco's CML or an Avaya Session Border Controller. I'll run through the wizard, which presents some predefined options, and make sure that I choose the options that best match the settings that were on our 8.1 SBC virtual machine. Okay, our OVA is deployed. Let's power up our new virtual machine. And while that's powering up, I'll correct some of the network interface mappings I have here. In our VMware console, we are presented with the first time boot configuration wizard. And much like deploying an OVA, the deployment wizards look very familiar across Avaya's Linux hosted products. Let's get the details gathered from our 8.1 SBC entered into this install wizard. Now I'm including a sped up version of the configuration that's fast enough to keep this video short, but slow enough that you could pause for review if needed. Alright, our SBC is now powered up, and it's time to upload that migration backup file that we created onto our R10 SBC. Now, with that uploaded, log into the command line of our R10 SBC, and copy the migration backup file to this directory. We are now ready to perform the final step of our migration, applying the migration backup file to our SBC with the following command. Pause here if you want to write it down. The only question we're asked here is if we want to continue, and after selecting yes, the process completes in about 3 to 5 minutes. And before we continue, I just want to pause for 1 second and ask for an act of kindness from you. It takes a lot of effort to put these videos together, so if you enjoyed it, please smash that like button, show me some love in the chat, and subscribe. Alright, back to the video. We know that the restore script is complete when it advises that the data migration tasks have completed, and to reboot the system to apply those changes. Let's go ahead and reboot that right now. Wow, what a fast reboot. The magic of video editing. Let's verify our SBC migration has completed successfully. Now, outside of placing test calls or registering your remote users, we can tell that the migration completed successfully because all of our network interfaces are present. And if we log into our EMS, we can see that the SBC is at 10.1.2, and all of the configuration data for our SBC is in the appropriate places. intlx Solutions, empowering people, connecting businesses.